We should be showing up any moment. YouTube's pretty good, pretty fast, pretty smooth. We're just waiting for confirmation. There we go. Big noise maker. Hang on. Oh, that's enough of that noises. I gotta always remember to turn off that one. Let's start the show. Here we go. Yikes. Dina. Here we go. It's June the 17th, 2016. I'm Dana Durnford, your host, nuclearproctologist.org, and you can find these videos in Fukushima throughout the entire internet. We have an incredible amount of documentation, and while I know that a lot of people, my audio keeps cutting out. I got to contact the company and find out what's going on with that. So I'm going to start off today, and you go over Nuclear Proctologist and check out the documentation. I know that was cut a little short. Should have moved it over. Okay, so the first order of the day is to play a 30-second clip of the person who says there's no radiation. Is my audio cutting out on your end too? Hi Candace, Albert, Thirst, Cruisin', Daniel. And is my audio breaking up on your end, folks, before we get it rolling here? Because I hear it breaking and breaking and breaking. I know I got a noise filter on. Let me go and turn that off. Maybe that's something going on. Because that's really weird, eh? Okay, I got rid of that noise filter, just in case that was what was causing any issues. Yeah, good. Is the volume okay for everybody? Just make sure my volume is working normal. Who knows anymore? Let's keep rolling. This first video is a guy going by the name of Connecting Dots, and he has attacked me viciously and violently now for 2 years. But this headline, or this same person, here's the video. Let's play that right quick. It's only 30 seconds.
Connecting Dots here. Friday, May 6th. This is a global invitation to anyone who wants to know what my plans are for Fukushima and dealing with the fallout. And yes, they have planned. I'm no longer sticking on the West Coast. I'm out of here. I've had it. I'm not going to sit here and keep seeing the news keep getting worse and worse. You know, I don't want to fearmonger, but you guys really need to take this serious, and those of us that live on the West Coast especially. And if you're from Vancouver Island...
Yeah, ain't that interesting? He's going to leave the coast. Now, what's interesting about that video, before we get into the rest of the show... Get this set up. Okay. So that video was republished by We Can Choose Better, and that was published May the 14th, 2011. And so 2 years later, hang on, I'll make that a bit more legible for everybody. 2 years later, Connecting got under the video. Please remove this video. I don't want it mirrored. Ain't that interesting? Because that site got taken down, so it wasn't mirrored. It was already, that site was knocked down. This was the only remaining evidence.
Connecting Dots here.
That he had
Friday,
said
May
that.
6th.
Yeah? Isn't that something? So he wanted it taken down. It's still up there. If you go look for the video, you can find it. Here, let me find the title for you. Invite from Connecting Dots Fukushima updates along with an invite to leave the West Coast to British Columbia, Canada. So there's something really nefarious going on right there with that person. Let's get on with the show. Fukushima. I'll get rid of that. We'll go into the muddling the water screen. Now we're just going to burn through all these headlines. And we'll talk about the Globe and Mail at the end of the show for a quick. Elevated radiation. Germany, Sweden, Slovakia. And you got Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary, other countries. You got Poland, Denmark. You got plume was over Caribbeans, Canada, East Coast. So think about this one here. There was a control group in 2001 in Japan in Fukushima study 0.8% of a percent. So 0.8% of the children in 2001 had anything to do with thyroids. And now it's 36%, 35.8 of the Fukushima children have the thyroid cyst. So 13,600 do. Huh? Oh, Dana, there was a couple of more thyroid lumps there in Fukushima. They think it's from something else. Actually, there's 13,646 in that group that they looked at after. And 24,000 didn't, but 13,000 did. So over half of them. It says 36% in the study. But pre-Fukushima, 0.8% children had thyroid problems. Top cancer doctor, nuclear radiation, the most carcinogenic thing that exists. UN committee chairman studying Fukushima radiation impact. We wouldn't expect to see health effects in children, workers, or anybody else. So that's United Nations saying, even though they know that, and they know this, here they are out there laundering that, and they know this, nuclear radiation, most carcinogenic thing known to man. And so there they are saying stuff like that. Children living near a nuclear power plant have double leukemia rates. That was a German study, was it? Yeah, German study. 22nd of October 2011. August 17, 2012 was another study. Thyroid cancer risks last an entire life after radiation exposure. That's because radiation most carcinogenic thing known to man. You can see the car up in the right-hand corner of green. All of Japan is contaminated. 60,000 square kilometers, 46 million people. And 40% of the showed internal to the radiation. 23% higher incidence of child leukemia within 16 kilometers of a nuclear facility. These are studies after studies. Child leukemia doubles near a French nuclear power plant in another study. 90% higher incidences of childhood leukemia on nuclear power plant investigation. Evidence linking nuclear power plants to ill health, compelling, UK. High concentration of radiation hit the US and Canada. Plume was rich in 37. Now that's just a tracer. The iodine is just a tracer. Meant all the other isotopes are there. That's what a scientist sees when he sees the word cesium-137 or iodine-131. They extrapolate immediately that all the other isotopes, because that's what it means. It's just a tracer, see? It's really bad, but a single particle could cause cancer, no problem whatsoever, depending what the particle was. If it's coming from a chain reaction, meltdown, it'll cause a cancer. Did I skip one that time? Yeah. So Canada, so when the plume was coming through, high plume, Canada pulled down mobile radiation in BC until further notice. Those numbers were supposed to be right there with that. I smurfed up. Sandwich Peninsula, 22nd of March. Victoria, 22nd. Vancouver, 24th. It was Haida Gwaii, formerly known as Queen Charlotte Islands, on the 24th also. They pulled all the radiation detectors down. Canada radiation test showed iodine-131 in rainwater at 100 times above U.S. drinking water standard, 10 times more 132 ionizing radiated thyroid glands, times more effectively. All this was going on while the Globe and Mail was shoving stocks, looting everybody, looting people's pensions, getting them to buy the uranium stocks. Are still out. We got to stop these sorts of reports coming out. International conference. I'm going to slow down and read just one screen instead of looking at multiple screens. International conference warns that media talk of Fukushima health effects may be harmful to the nuclear industry. They don't care about you. Nuclear expert on horrified abandoned Fukushima radiation monitoring. Yeah, I know, just cruising, don't worry. How the brainwashing was done in Fukushima tweets paint the propaganda effort by the Japanese government that would make Goebbels proud. Here's a little clip of John Boyce from America talking about, he was down in Japan allegedly at the reactors, and this is, he claims it was like, he got more radiation from an airplane than he would have from the radiation at Fukushima, right by the reactors allegedly. Here we go.
something too on the meter, just to mention, even though I spent all this time right next to the reactors, I received more radiation on my transcontinental flights from Tokyo to Washington than I did at the reactor site, so I tried to use that.
So I probably smurfed up the audio on that one, I know. But here he is saying he got more anyway, that's the evidence. Obama picks to lead EPAs from the Office of Air Radiation Radnet that hid the radiation, that took down all the monitors. At the height of Fukushima emergency, regions in California where the plume hit had no monitors. And the email showed the EPA had decided not to deploy the Radnet. Oh yeah, no, we gave you the money to monitor, the authority, the equipment, the ability, the blank checks to go find it. What did you do? When it happens, you stab everybody in the back. Once again, folks, is my audio breaking up on your side? Is that bugging the crap out of me? Because it's happening on my side. I'm watching the comments right here. Right there. Right there. Comments. Hi, everybody. But anyway, I'll keep my eye out to make sure the audio's not... Nothing I can do about it. I've got to keep going. But all the issues. Been working on this software for, what, weeks now. Inexplicable. They shut down Fukushima radiation monitoring after finding high levels of radiation in the drinking water. No, it's not. This is what they do. This is what these people are. This is why they got the job. This is why they were appointed. This is why they got that education, so they can do that to you. They got no issues with doing that to you. They don't care about you. Mystery cloud of iodine 131, which is just a tracer. Audio's good. Could be louder. Really? Okay. Well, it's like if you're not using speakers, it's going to be hard to hear me anyway. And if you're, just using small speakers, it could be hard unless you got some bass to it. But who knows? I turned up a little slap for you, Deb. This Amthurst. We know for 2 years that the massive amount of water flowed under Fukushima plant. Officials are unable to explain why they kept it a secret. Well, they kept it secret. That was the cover-up, right? 2 years. And it got forced out. It's shocking. The official aid says it delayed in raising Fukushima to level 7 because we could have had a panic. Okay. The reality was they didn't want to ease people into the harshness of reality. It was because the Japanese government was in chaos. They're going to lose their pensions, and they got to murder all these people to keep their jobs. And so government is literally the stupidest, scariest thing imaginable. Instead of doing the moral and ethical, they stabbed everybody to death because they were afraid there would be a panic and they wouldn't have control of you anymore. This is why... See, government was just supposed to be someone you hired to do a job. And if they tried to take power, try to become like thugs, then the militia would go in and remove them and appoint somebody to fill up the position until they can fire somebody proper to administrate it. Now they're completely out of control, and the cops are guarding them all the time. You can't even criticize them. I got arrested for doing that recently. Full range of radioactive material. Melted reactor cores contaminating Pacific with a full range. This is thousands of isotopes. Iodine and cesium are just tracers. That's what they feed you now for how many years, how many decades? So Japan had a massive earthquake. It had a tsunami. Tsunami not only ran through the power plants, right? It ran through that whole country. But today's about reading these headlines. Common spent fuel pool now being sprayed with water, yeah? What, that water? This water? Everything else got washed away. Here's a little... Well, I got the extension cord, but I don't know where to plug it in. If we don't plug it in the next 18 hours, we're going to lose all those reactors. If they survived the tsunami, I don't know how they could have survived the tsunami, but they say get an extension cord and plug it in. I don't know where to plug it in. I can't find any receptacles. Can you help? Putin. June 3rd, meeting revealed depleted uranium storage facility burned after the quake, contained 1,800 pounds. Remember those pictures of a refinery burning? They were storing depleted uranium-238. It's not tipped, not coated. It's contaminated with americium, neptunium, plutoniums, and the whole range of radioactive materials. So they had the meltdowns. One or more of the building's explosion ejected radioactive material around the site of Fukushima. Oh, really, eh? High radiation levels around the plant prevented helicopters from dumping water on the spent fuel rods at Fukushima. Think about that one. There were 600 pilots at Chernobyl, helicopter pilots dumping boric acid and lead on that thing. They all died of radiation sickness. You won't see that in UN report. You won't see that in UNSCLEAR's report. You won't see that in ERPA's report. You won't see that in Atomic Energy Agencies or the IAEA or EPA or any of them. Because the people that are on all these radiation boards are the same people on each board. It's stacked against you like you can't even believe. That's why the Globe and Mail is like they're pumping the uranium stocks. They know it's all over. It's game over. They got to loot everything you got so they can have enough money to survive in the future and their children. They already wrecked this planet. That's the people. Like, think about this one. I got arrested, and who broke the story? The biggest uranium stock market pumper in Canada, the Globe and Mail. The biggest print media in Canada, the one that broke the story of the biggest activist on the planet getting on Fukushima, being arrested. And they didn't buy. They accused me of death threats. I'm arrested for criminal harassment. Smeared me on top of it. Disgusting, pathetic maggots. These people are looting everybody. Oh, you got to buy the stocks in uranium. Meanwhile, they bought the stocks for the last couple of months. They're cheap. And now they're going to sell it in the newspaper. And then a couple of days later, sell theirs. Take your money, walk. That's what they're doing for decades. But since Fukushima, post-Fukushima, they haven't stopped. They're vicious. They're liquidating. Anybody out there that retired and got all kinds of money from working all their life, got it stolen by the Globe and Mail if they paid any attention to it and started listening to it. Japan's nuclear agency finally admits fuel is melted in reactor 1, 2, and 3. Friday, Globe and Mail Day, so don't worry. It's a good show, though. We're going to do a good show. Friday, nuclear agency admits the fuel melted in the reactors, 1, 2, and 3. Send us people who don't mind dying. No, it's okay, Dana, like a banana. Dana. Why are you always saying it's like dangerous, Dana? Well, they got terrorist laws, huh? They got nuclear waste sites, huh? All parts of the fuel rods appear to have melted at all 3 reactors amid TIPCO. Huge problem. Huge problem. I think the words fucking nightmare is more appropriate. But hey, that's just me. More serious than a meltdown. Japan government now raising possibility of the fuel to melt through at all 3 reactors. Really? Huh? June 7, 2011. Man, they've been hiding that for so long. But see, there's these emissions. And when you grab them, you aggregate them the way I did. Any news done, but I put them in context, that's all. Periodic nuclear fission part of number 1 reactor core. Oh, April the 3rd. Still doing a chain reaction. Uncontrolled chain reaction may be coming from the melted fuel in number 1 reactor. Gee, you don't suppose. 220 million becquerels a liter of cesium now in number 2 spent fuel pool. There was 220 million becquerels. 220 million becquerels in a liter of rainwater over Vancouver a few days later. Per liter. Game over for this planet. Game over for Canada. Game over for the west coast of Canada. This is reactor 1. That's what we're talking about. Number 1? That's number 1. But that's not the bad one, by no means. But it's horrible. That's number 1 is 3 times the size of Chernobyl. Chernobyl 30% melt after 10 days. Spent fuel pool number 2, Stephen. Yeah, really? It's all gone, folks. And the proof of that, of course, proof of it, otherwise the trolls are attacking you. Oh, Dana didn't show the picture of that one, so he's probably lying. I'm going to bring it up. Probably get a little delay on your end. He sent the neurons, skin. Simply Info got it their 5-year report. I downloaded it all. Not looking good for Simple Info. Simply Info. Yeah, I read their report. I'm not very impressed. I'll be doing a whole video on that one. TEPCO. So he shot the neurons anyway. I'll bring that up for you in a second here. Maybe that'll help you understand it. And the neurons would look like that there. So they shot the Murans through number 2, right? And there's nothing in there, as evident by that headline right there. Go look it up yourself. There's nothing there. Gone. Bob, 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 boom. Okay. Well, number 3 was the same thing. You can't shoot a Muran through that, but allegedly you're going to. Let's go back over to DDR1. Let's keep going. Let's boogie. Unit 2. And the White Haze Bulb 3. Melted fuel from reactor 3 is the highly lethal mixed uranium plutonium oxide. This is where they reclaim uranium, 235, and they reclaim plutonium, 241, 239, from missiles, Cold War missiles, 50-year-old missiles, nuclear bombs, that are already unstable, already went through a chain reaction, already refined, already extraordinary, put it through a chain reaction again, made it 2 billion times worse. This reactor was 2 million times worse than any other reactor on the planet, this reactor right here. And as you can imagine, who knows what I got done there? As you can imagine, it's all gone. Nuclear engineer, to me, it means TEPCO knew about a rip in the spent fuel liner. You think there's a rip in a pool that doesn't exist? You think there's a pool at the top of that building? See, that's the lie, right? Oh, there's a rip in the pool. Okay. Do you know where the pool are by chance? They're at the top of the building. Yeah? Hang on, maybe I can help you out with that one to come to terms with it. Let me see what I got here for you. Rip, rip, rip. No. I don't see it. Hang on, I'll bring it in. It's worth bringing in, trust me. Hang on. Oh, that's not the one. Yum, 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 yum. I got a real clip that explains to you about the fuel pool coming up here if I ever get to it. Filling up the fuel pool number 3. I'll adjust the volume on the floor.
Hey, that's the reactor right here. Right there. Hang on,
building
fill up the fuel pool. Whoa, hang on. There we go, fill up the fuel pool. I'm gonna fill it up. I'm filling up the fuel pool. Hey, no peeking.
That's hilarious. Maybe leaping. Damage to the fuel pool. Flying in a pool may not be possible due to the fact there's no pool there. Unusual amount of smoke billowing from reactor 3 and 4. Gee, you don't say, eh? Here's another clip for you.
Hey, we're looking for some volunteers to go over to number 3. $50 extra a day, free brekkie. We'll give you free room in a cabin at the end of the hill there. Just go talk to the guy with all the tattoos, okay?
Go talk to the guy with all the tattoos. Reactor 3 is a death sentence. Anybody goes near it, they die. They'll die within a few weeks if they don't die right away. You can't go in these buildings. No one can go in these buildings, even though they claim to win in the buildings. That's what makes me laugh so much. Is the lie is so stupid. But people have been bombarded with bananas, potato chips, and walking in the sunshine for 70 years. So most people are just fucking stupid as a rock at this stage anyway, because of the nuclear industry. It's not their fault. It's not like they can't learn. There's your mixed oxide fuel. I'm not going to play that one. This is one. I played a clip of it in a video put out the other day, but it's actually a 2-minute video. So, explosion at Fukushima Unit 1, 3, and 4 may have caused the inventory of nuclear rods. Unit 1, Unit 3, and Unit 4. Oh, gee, I wonder why they put it in that order, eh? Unit 1, got no roof. See, the fuel rod is gone. That's why they said it made them blown out. Unit 2, 3, rather, that's gone. We don't need to wonder about that one. Right? You don't have to wonder if your fuel rods were blown out because they were at the roof. The roof. You know where the roof is too? Where I was peeing that time. And Unit 4, of course. I laugh every time he thinks about it. But those are homeless you see there. Not me, but the other people. Okay, let's keep going. So this is Unit 3. Maybe it'll make some sense for you now. Anyway. Unit 4, steam streaming into the atmosphere, radiation streaming. You know what he said those words? Because it boiled dry. You know what boiled dry? Got a caught fire and blew up and melted down. But meanwhile,
Has anybody seen Seth Dorn? I can't find a little bugger. We went everywhere.
he's supposed to be at Unit 4.
I hope he didn't go over to the real Unit 4.
Like that. That's the real Unit 4. Not that
Has
one.
anybody
Okay, let's keep going. There's Seth Dorn.
But TEPCO has made some progress.
This is what
Todd,
TEPCO wants us
hey,
to see. The part
actors are
of
not allowed
the
to talk to Seth
decommissioning work
Dorn. He's
taking
PBS
place
superstar.
here
Now
in
stop
reactor.
doing
Actors are not allowed to talk to it. That video got censored on the internet. Let me see if I can bring that up for you. Drop this down for a second. Okay. Just hang on 1 second. No. Okay, I'm not worried about it. This boogie, well, you're running out of time. That's why they got the big red bump there, right? Because everything is good. So, top scientists refute Japanese government copious quantities of radioactivity leaked from spent fuel pool. Copious? Copious? Copious. You better not say this is a hoax. The building on the right is not the same one as the one on the left. You better not say that. They'll arrest you like they done with me. Radiation is streaming into the atmosphere. Well, when you think of it, now I'm going to have a cigarette that doesn't have 7,000 chemicals. Keep your eye on that little corner there. There's Unit 4. See the fuel pool anywhere? It's up on the roof, by the way. It was originally. The caught fire, blew up, and aerosol and atomized. That's me and they're playing around. I'm dead now. I just died. I died about five minutes after that picture was taken. I was dead. And my cigarettes don't got 7,000 chemicals. Don't have a seizure. Don't go in a corner and defecate on yourself. You made a cigarette. Can't trust them. So look at that building, though. Think about that one. Have a look at that. Yeah, Dana. I see you pulled here on the roof, Dana. That's not the roof, dummy. There's a hole in the floor. And that yellow thing, that's supposed to be up on the roof. Up close to the roof. But that's on the right-hand side before and after. But they're both the official pictures of after and after. Right? That's the official picture, both of them, what it looks like right now. No, I'm not making it up. But buy the stocks, the uranium stocks from the Globe and Mail. Everything's hunky-dory. Renewed chain reaction fear that, I don't know, reactor 4. How come? November or March the 18th. Why were they saying stuff like that? Chain reaction. Oh, Dana, there's a rip in the liner at the fuel pool, Dana. No chain reaction. Okay. Iodine 131 and the appeal suggested the spent fuel had started its own chain reaction. Dana can't do that. Shut your pie hole, dummy. They hoodwinked you. Look at it for fuck's sakes. These are both the official pictures. Yeah. Can't make that one up if you wanted to. Okay, so inside the building on the left is the building on the right. Unit 4. Okay. The whole world went back to sleep. Oh, Dan, it's just a building, no one cares. Well, why would he fake it then if no one cares? Now they're inside the Unit 4, but they can't get inside the one on your left. Now they're inside the one on your right, which are apparently the same buildings, the official pictures. And like I got pictures of them doing this 8 weeks ago in the Washington Press Club in Washington, America. TEPCO employee talking, showing a perfect building. Might get that to later, but you better not say, hey, wait a second. You think they're the same buildings? If you do, you should buy stocks from the Globe and Mail because I can't fucking help you. You better not say I think it's a hoax. You better not say anything. You better not say there's nothing left. You better not say it's destroyed. You better not say that because it'll make you a bad person like me. The Globe and Mail came out and broke the story of poor old little Dana. Dana hates nuclear. So, think about this next bunch of headlines. I juiced them up today for everybody. But you had a detonation. Okay. Now, not to mention there's 30 million one-ton bags. 30 million. So if you put this is why they're trying to sell you the uranium stock, because they know it's all going to go to shit real quick. And so they're buying it, and they're buying it cheap at the Globe and Mail, selling it to you in the media, and then going home at night and going to their keyboards and going, sell. I'm going to take that fucker's money. They've been doing that now 5 years straight. They've been doing it long before that. They're fucking shoving it down everybody's throat right now. They're gonna liquidate everybody's assets, steal everything from every pensioner, so they can have cappuccinos in the morning, and they can drive around with their rag top down, and they can feel special in their $5,000 suits with dirty underwear. My cigarettes haven't got 7,000 chemicals. The Globe and Mail didn't tell you that. Dana Durnford, the nuclear proctologist, told you that. Okay, here's some fun stuff coming up. Aerosol plutonium from Fukushima detected in Europe, and the spent fuel was indicated. Geez, don't suppose, just because it blew up, that it also went everywhere. Gee, what a novel idea that would be. All of the reactors had spent fuel pools containing plutonium. So shut your fucking pie holes. Ba-boom. Oh, Dana, no, there's a rip in the liner, Dana. Oh, okay. Latest forecast is all of California under radiation threat. That's the Norwegian Institute for Air Research. Like Dana, they're fucking lawyers. Columbia medical professor inhaling just one radioactive hot particle. They're all hot. Everything that come out of there, right across the Pacific, right across the North America, right across the Atlantic. A steady plume. Imagine a snowstorm being like that, or a rainstorm. You'd fucking get it then, wouldn't you? You wouldn't buy uranium stocks then, would you? You wouldn't sell them then, would you? You can see it, but you can't see. No, Dana, inhaling a particle, just because a bunch of doctors says it's true, Dana, don't mean it's true. It's like a banana, Dana. That's why I hate nuclear with such a big passion, is because these are out there forever talking about bananas and potatoes, walking in the sunshine. We're probably screwing up today, because I left the stream running in the background. Now we got a stream coming in and a stream going out. I'm streaming in 1080. My apologies, everybody. Okay, I'll get rid of that right now. Ooh, come over to the chat room, open that up. Just give me one moment, folks. To do these live streams is so difficult. I don't know why I bother with it. I know, because I love a good challenge, right? Hi, everybody. Thank you, Emters. L.A. Albert, everybody. Nep Killer. Everybody out there is paying attention, watching, catches it later. The chat room is important. All the comments will be gone after, mind you, because Google doesn't re-upload that, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't get in there and have a say, or you shouldn't participate, or you shouldn't get into big fights. That's always fun. I like big fights. Big internet scraps. Bring it, baby. Hang on, I'm going to put it on the other screen. That one. Children with over 11 becquerels a kilogram of cesium starts to see heart problems. 11 becquerels. How much is in your food again? How much is on my Geiger counter? 123 up there in the top left-hand corner. 88. 5 becquerels in Germany, you put the food in a nuclear waste site. In Canada, yummy. In America, yummy. Because the people that are in charge are disgusting parasites, are vultures, like Kathleen Higley from America. This despicable person, I've covered her repeatedly now, is on the radiation advisory boards for UNSCLEAR, United Nations, and IRPA. On the same boards. They're all, it's just a handful of them. They're disgusting, pathetic, mass murdering lawyers. They're murderers. Every one of these people on the radiation boards that are setting the policies, these are murderers. These are batshit crazy people. And without them, the Globe and Mail couldn't exist. Data shows a large spike in deaths, particularly infant deaths, in the 14 weeks following the Fukushima meltdown. No big deal, Dana. Infant deaths also up in BC, Canada. After Fukushima collaborates with a U.S. study. UN committee chairman, which is probably Kathleen Higley. We wouldn't expect to see health effects in children, workers, or anybody else. No. Canada suspends the mobile radiation measurements around Vancouver. Oh yeah, that was the one I was looking for. Right, Haudegaude, Vancouver, Victoria, Saanich, all in the period of 3 days. Shut them all off permanently. Gone. Hot particles bombarded the west coast of the US and Canada. That's why they shut it all fucking off. Those lacking wisdoms expected Fukushima plume to disperse. In reality, sharp features. That's the Canadian. Look at the bottom of it. Evidence of sharp features in the Fukushima plume over southwestern British Columbia, because that's the only spot they looked at. They're all of Canada. You couldn't avoid it. All of it. The entire country. BC, Canada sees spikes in numbers of sudden infant deaths. Yeah, because of Fukushima. So 360 plus atoms of radioactive sulfur. This was from spraying the salt water on the reactors, the sulfur peroxide, hydrogen, and buckyballs. They ingested the uranium, plutonium, americium, neptunium, and all the other nasties. The thousands of isotopes that we are worried about that are not created by the sun, but we won't find in the solar system, that are created from the uranium that we put in the reactor, and that's what are man-made, called man-made isotopes. It's because we recognize that. We're winding down. We're almost through it. Award-winning project finds seafood sold in Canada with high radiation levels. Incredible discovery. Something unexpected may be lurking in the Canadian waters. I hope people open their eyes. Birth defects, deaths in the West Coast state hit records levels. Spiked 60% statewide and returned to normal in 2012. Fukushima releases along the west coast of the U.S. as a possible factor in the birth defect cluster. Birth defects. Think of Fallujah, where women won't even have babies anymore because of the depleted uranium they used there. Low level is vicious stuff. Fukushima airborne plume caused significant disposition of radioactivity over North America. 13% of the disposition from those reactors stayed in North America. This is an inconceivable amount. This is a fucking unimaginable amount. This is death. This is why they're liquidating everybody's assets at the Globe and Mail, why they're trying to steal everybody's money for uranium stocks. They know that's not coming back, but this is how they make money. They buy stocks themselves. They sell it after they put it in the media and you buy it. The stocks go up, then they sell theirs, take your money. All media does that, but the Globe and Mail is particularly vile. Just unbelievably disgusting mass murder and monsters. These are monsters. The people that work at the Globe and Mail are monsters. They go home every night to their little suburbs with their little wife and families and husbands and families. And their families and loved ones have no idea these people are fucking monsters. Mommy, how much money did you make today? Oh, I made $100,000 today, honey. Don't bother telling your children you stole it from pensioners, you stole it from the gullible, you stole it from the naive, you stole it from the people that put their fate into the Globe and Mail. The Globe and Mail hacked and slashed them to death. Stole everything they had and said, oh, just a bad stock time, boy. That's too bad. It happens. Happens every time for the last 5 years in particular. Oh, no, Dana. No. My stocks have never gone up. Local officials, because they've been artificially inflated so you would buy them, they go up even more than they sell. Steal your money. They're doing it today. They're doing it tomorrow. The headlines yesterday were stocks expected to double. 2018 or something, right? You gotta buy now, man. Buy cheap. And then you'll never be able to cash in. And whatever you cash in for, you're gonna lose. Even if you cash in right now, you're gonna lose, but at least you got something out of it. You wait another year or two, you're gonna lose everything. You believe the Globe and Mail, you're stupid as a fucking rock after watching all this. Local officials in BC, Canada connects with pregnant moms. Yeah. Someone had a guilty conscience, more like it. Cesium-137 showed a high altitude radiation cloud concentrated over California and western U.S. Yummy! Who was this? Your rad project? Oh, Dana, none of that means nothing because UVic didn't tell us, Dana, or Woods Hole didn't tell us, Dana. We're not even fucking nuclear scientists, for fuck's sakes. And he got me arrested for going out on the Expeditions for Life and showing an extinction event played out in the tidal pools along the coastline of British Columbia. And that 4.2 million other species are missing. And so that's why they're looting your money right now, because you're going to find out about that at some point, and you're going to understand what they're doing to you. And they'll have your money be long gone. You'll never be able to tie it to them. So just don't give it to them under any circumstances. Oh, look, you had France come out and say, you had the Norwegian Institute for Air Research come out and show you, right around the entire fucking planet. It never stopped coming out of there. But the original explosions and detonations and the losses of the inventories from the fuel pool were fucking incredible. But then we have chain reaction. That's consuming rocks and rebar and steel and every fucking thing else. Atomizing, aerosoling, ionizing and radiating that and turning that into big fucking plumes. Forever. It'll never stop coming out of there. Because all we're doing is sending in the homeless, the destitute, and the victims of society. Xenon known to cause dramatic increases in lung cancer. Turns to cease here. Uninterrupted line of radiation stretching across the Pacific, the west coast of Canada, U.S. Uninterrupted line. The xenon, see? Vicious lung cancer. And one of the things you might want to do to ease relief from that is drink lemon water. So boil lemons. Boil your lemons. And then chop off, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, boil your lemons. Like get a glass container and fill it up with water. You know, like well water, structured water. Everything got radiation in it, but at least structured water is better than the stuff with fluoride and everything else in it, okay? But anyway, just put a piece of lemon in a bottle of water or a glass of water. And that'll help you dramatically if you keep sipping away at that. If you got a really bad hack. I forgot about it. We've done it all of our lives, but just recently I started doing it again and boom. Much better. Not cured, but much better. No, I'm in desperate trouble at this stage, right? I've done the expedition right along the coastline of British Columbia. I was exposed to it in just incredible amounts of it. I had a couple of teeth fall in my head a couple of months ago. It was 2 weeks, couldn't get out of bed. Lost hair, lost my teeth. Just like healthy teeth coming out of your head over a couple of days period is the most frightening thing imaginable. And by the way, we raised almost enough money to cover the nuclear proctologist for another year, and so I didn't pay rent on my shitty little crap hole that I live in this month because I had to make sure we paid, got that site up and running at the nuclearproctologist.org, keep it up. There's so much work went into that, I can't stand the thought of losing, because it took months and months after the expedition to upload that stuff each time, right? You come ashore for a week and a half and getting ready to go on another expedition, uploading pictures all day long. Like taking 2,000 pictures a day, coming ashore and having to upload it all. No one's going to pay you for any of this, right? Oh no, we paid you to go out on the ocean and have a look, which is all I asked for, and I'm not asking for anybody to pay me to do it. I'm just saying the amount of work that's involved in what I do and what I've done and what I continue to do is inconceivable. It's unimaginable. It's unimaginable. Like I'm sitting here now with nothing in my bank account again. Zero. I went out on the boat last night because I had a bit of gas left in the boat. Still do. And so I went out and just this morning got up and looked for birds and stuff like that and seen one mallard, one duck. Out of 300 species. And so out of the whole coastline we only seen 11 species. Like it's shocking the damage that's done permanently. We got starved to death. Everything that's dying is starving to death. All the whales that died, emaciated, starved to death. All the birds that are dying, 500,000 in one jump there over the last couple of months up north, discovered, they all starved to death. There was nothing to eat. They went into the woods, there was no insects. They went way in Alaska into the lakes, 8,000 murres, saltwater murres that can dive 600 feet. They got no reason to go to fresh water. 8,000 of them dead in the lake, all starved to death. Let me get rid of that. We're winding down now. We're going to burn through the rest of this. Surface forecast showed radioactive xenon-133, which attacks your lung, turns to cesium after. 300 times more radiation released into the atmosphere, burning debris and claimed by the government. New York Times, radiation small dose could actually be disproportionately worse. And so natural stuff your body can't get anymore. It's homeostasis. Your body regulates it like a thermostat regulates your house or cruise control regulates your car. Your body regulates it. Everything on the planet regulates. Your clothes will regulate natural radiation. You can't mutate fruit flies. It's not harmful. It's just nature. It's not really radiation. It's not going to, like I say, mutate a fruit fly. You can't make a dirty bomb or a nuclear reactor with a potassium-40. And potassium-40 doesn't come from a chain reaction. So why did they keep telling you about that? Because that's the lie. So man-made radiation, when they talk about millisieverts and unisieverts and microsieverts and micro-REMs and stuff like that, that's lies. That's how they're lying to you. You talk about atomic decays, becquerels, counts per minute. Everything else is a lie. Everything else is a deception. Right? Microsieverts and unisieverts and all this is the deception. That's how they've changed the names of this stuff over and over and over the last 7 decades. In order to keep you fucking confused, to keep you stupid, to keep you naive, gullible, and to give you cancer. Like, think about, cancer is the last one to show up. There's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies, illnesses, diseases will show up before cancer. Cancer is the last one to show up. Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, diabetes, heart, liver, lung, respiratory, pituitary, adrenaline gland problems will all show up long before, and help you liquidate your assets long before cancer. Completely beyond comprehension how huge the contamination of the ocean water will be. Fukushima radioactive material poured in the landfill will enter the sea. It'll just seep to the landfill and into the sea every time it rains and snows. Everything throughout the country is being washed. Remember, they picked up 30 million bags. 30 million one-ton bags. That's one-ton trucks that'll be bumper to bumper, touching each other's bumper. 5 lanes of traffic right around the entire planet. If you spread them out 20 feet apart, it'd be 10 lanes of traffic around the entire planet, so to speak, right? Which is nothing. It's just a 1% of what they need to clean up. And so all that gets washed out into the ocean. All that is picked up through typhoons or cyclones, whatever it is they have that part of the world. Our version of hurricanes and heavy winds and rains, adverse conditions, and liberate that back into the environment. But it's still coming out of the plants constantly, still being produced from the chain reaction and liberated into the environment continuously. It might never stop. That's TEPCO's official pictures 8 weeks ago. Okay. So in other words, the power plants survived, everything else was destroyed all around it. In reality, that's what that building looks like. In reality, it looks like that. It can never look like that. You can never get in there. Remember, the fuel pools are at the roof, and the roof ain't there no more. And so that's about it for the show, folks. Short show. Like I said, you couldn't get power in there. That was the fable. Even if you could get power in there, where are you going to plug it into? Where are you going to be? You're going to plug it in somewhere in that? You're going to plug it in somewhere in that? Is that what you're going to do? See how stupid those words are. Oh, we still can't get... We better get power in or we're going to lose the power plant. It was long gone. It was gone right away. That was the lie. That was the cover-up. That was the misdirection. That was the deception. That was the humiliation of our academics. It's the biggest breach. Nuclear has taken over our media, taken over our academics, and taken over our institutions, and taken over our justice system. And that's evident in me being arrested for calling these murderers who talk about bananas and potato chips and walking in the sunshine and calling them out for it. And so they used that to demonize me, vilify me. And then the 2 videos I was charged with when I was in jail for 12 hours were knocked down with ghost accounts. Not with a court order, but with ghost accounts on YouTube. So people couldn't see why I was arrested. Because they don't have a case against me. That's why the CBC, I've done 2 20-minute interviews with the CBC. Never even fucking quoted me. 2 20-minute interviews. Never quoted me. But they gave the cunt from UVic, right, the whole show to say whatever he fucking wanted about me. And so the Globe and Mail done the same thing, but they broke the story 3 days before I knew I was going to be arrested. The Globe and Mail came out with the story. Yeah? And they're the biggest purveyors of uranium stocks. They never bothered telling the investors what I showed you. Why do that? Because they won't buy in stocks. And they won't be able to sell their stocks that they bought last week or the week before or the month before that in preparation for running the headlines. So people would, oh, the Globe and Mail is pushing these stocks. We better buy some, honey. And then that night when the Globe and Mail gets home, tip, tip, tip on the keyboard. Hey, honey, I just made $500,000. Somebody bought a whole whack of stocks today. Fucking morons. Oh, honey, you're so clever. But the only way to reach these people is their families and friends and loved ones. The only way to get at these fucking monsters at the Globe and Mail is through their families and friends and loved ones. They got to lead these people. They got to take everything they got. They got to liquidate. They got to turn them into the police. That's what they got to do. That's what the loved ones got to do. When you see their loved ones committing any crimes whatsoever, no matter, even if it's drinking and driving, they got to report them to the police so they lose their jobs, so they can't wreck everybody's lives forever and ever and ever. You should give all the money away to orphanages and stuff like that, or donate to the nuclearproctologist.org. Fuck only knows I need the money. You know how many times I go to battle? You know the things I want to get done and I need to get done, and if somebody don't fucking do it, how much trouble we're going to be into? The truth will only come out when I'm free, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm able to get out there and pound into these fucks. I don't have the ability to do it. I can't raise enough money to do it. The Globe and Mail made sure that. The CBC made sure that. The Japanese Times made sure that. Connecting Dots made sure that. Yet here he was trying to control the narrative originally, like I said earlier. We got emails. This guy caused one of our donors to commit suicide. It was Connecting Dots. He harassed him all the way up until the suicide. I was on the ocean for 5 months during that period. He was trying to get one of the donors to take back what was given to me. As if that's fucking possible. But he caused so much grief to the person who was vulnerable, apparently, at that time, he committed suicide. That was Connecting Dots, the guy known as Louis L'Amour from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And we got the emails showing that he stalked that guy relentlessly, mercilessly. He caused that death. He's directly responsible. That was murder. That was manslaughter minimum. And we're going to have to go deal with that at some point. I get all kinds of emails of people telling me we got to deal with this guy. I should have him arrested by now. Why ain't I got him arrested? And I agree. I'm going to have to. So keep sending me emails, because I know at some point that'll get the job done. I'll eventually get down there and do that. We got an incredible amount of documentation and emails showing the collusion going on there with Dots and other. Like you come out and say there's all kinds of radiation. You come out with Geyer, all kinds of radiation. Yeah, got everybody donating to pull his site down so the donors couldn't find him anymore. And then anybody that reposted the video showing that, he said, I don't want it off. Get it off the internet. I don't want my stuff mirrored. Why wouldn't you? My stuff is mirrored all the time. Anybody wants the truth, it would have mirrored it. You wouldn't come by 2 years later and say, take it down. He wants it down because he doesn't want people to realize he sucked the amount of money. He's most likely connected to Lucas London or the Globe and Mail. Certainly University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And that his day is coming for the courtroom and for murdering Jeff Palco. Absolutely, 100% positively. His day is definitely coming. I got all the emails of people telling me I need to do something, so I guess I better do something. Great. Because that's how the game works, see? So let me go over and say good night. Good day to everybody. Hugs to everybody. And let me turn you ready down. Just because I don't stop doing what I do. And it's too bad I can't afford. The right people don't find me and donate to me. You can donate at PayPal, danadurnford@hotmail.com. You say we just raised enough money to be able to get that my website, the Nuclear Proctologist, with all the documentation, keep it up for another year. That was a struggle. Like I said, I didn't pay rent this month in this shitty little shithole that I live in. I'm not happy with this shithole, by the way. I got no issues with it. I don't need creature luxuries. I need to be able to get out there. I need to be able to get the equipment to do the things I'm doing. And I need to be able to fund this operation without always scratching to get the... Like, I always got to have the worst of the worst. Whatever I get is garbage. Whatever they get is the best you can imagine. They don't even utilize it. But I can't get, like... Arnie Gunnarsson ain't never going to donate to me. Helen Calicut ain't going to donate to me. Nuclear Matters... none of these people that are bringing in all the money and doing fuck all are not going to help me. And there's no one out there to help me. Then what happens? Then the other party wins. And that if I got to keep asking all the time, constantly, in order to do a little thing here or a little thing there, how am I ever going to be motivated to accomplish anything when I'm just running on empty every fucking time? I don't know how I made it through the last 2 years, and I don't know how I'll make it through the next couple. I do know one thing, it has to be done. And it has to be done by someone like me that's 100% upfront and honest. And that has put the time and energy and effort. Not only that, I got 14,000 hours underwater. So I'm not some fucking some average person. I'd also done 15,000 miles of the coastline. That documentation is up at the nuclear proctologist. And I produced hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these 1-hour presentations. And because of the Globe and Mail, I had to take down 300 of these presentations just like this one. So what if I swear I'm a Canadian? I'm not allowed to fucking swear. You don't fucking swear, I can't help you. Then you don't live a normal life. You live this sheltered, unimaginable, weird life. You or your friends don't fucking swear. Please. Go to Portugal. Yeah, I love Portugal people. I know them very well, actually. They used to come across the Atlantic to Newfoundland, where I'm from originally. I've been gone for 25 years. But I knew a lot of those people. A lot of those people and those boats that came over and fished the Atlantic on the east side came up to my house and got shower. When we had shower. Most places down there still don't got a shower. Hugs for everybody. Pam, thank you, honey. Albert, Amthers, thank you again, Deb. I appreciate everything you're saying, and I do read your comments, honey. And Daniel, thank you, folks. Everybody, Santiago, Antonio, hi all. And I'm just making sure I say good day to everybody before I sign off. Looks good. I know we got the Weeping Willow went out and slashed and burned me a couple of weeks ago. Fucking, you put your faith. She used to come in on my website all the time and steal my subscribers. I fucking hate people like that with a passion. And now stabbing me to death. I didn't do nothing. I don't deserve what she said about me. It's just fucking vicious. Someone sent her an email, therefore I'm a bad fucking person. Where's your common sense, you stupid bitch? You fucking traitor. You creepy cunt. Fuck you and the fucking ground you walk on after what you done to me. And by the way, folks, I have outbursts sometimes. If you had done to you what was done to me and what's continually done to me, and if you watched all these fuckers getting millions of dollars and do nothing, fuck you over, and you got someone like me who could take $1,000 and turn it into magic and works constantly, endlessly, perpetually at this, it's pretty sad state of affairs, man. We got no priorities left on this fucking planet. But at some point I'll give it all up, and then everybody will find out about Fukushima, and you won't have anybody out there is what's going to end up happening. And the nuclear industry would be, yay! They would kill me in a heartbeat. They didn't think that all these presentations and lectures and everything would go viral if they killed me. If they didn't think that would happen, because they're fucking everywhere throughout the internet, and they have been for a couple of years. We produce more material than everybody else combined. And we are accurate and honest, and we provide the documentation as we're talking. Nobody else on the fucking planet, nobody does that. There is nothing out there can touch us. And together, we are strong. Divided, we all hang separately. Hugs for everybody. Don't think for a second I don't love you. Don't think for a second. All night out there on the boat, sitting out there. And I wasn't thinking about today's show, and I wasn't thinking about the silence around me last night. Perfectly flat calm. Summer just kicked off. Not a fucking sound. Woke up this morning and one bird is all I see on the way home. A rough night. But I'm trying to raise enough money to do some of these expeditions. And it costs fucking real money to go out and burn gas in these boats. Like, let me bring that up for you very quick. That boat, we done 15,000 miles of the coastline. 260 days on this little tiny boat. And we got that whole operation. We just need to be able to keep it moving. And we got to raise money. So the nuclearproctologist.org, it takes 5 or 6 days for me to get it on top of that. And then the PayPal, danadurnford@hotmail.com. We'll be starting to stream live 5 days a week again next week. So the last couple of weeks was the first break I had in 2 years. And, you know, I hate saying that I hate asking for the money, but how else am I supposed to do this? Should I give it up and go away is the question. I don't think I should. Hugs for everybody. We'll see everybody tomorrow, or I'll do a couple of little skits the weekend, but we'll see everybody Monday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here. Beautiful Girl by Dana on YouTube. Take care.